All right, welcome. Tonight, I thought it'd be fun to just watch some quote-unquote most disturbing solo forest camping encounters that will keep you out of the woods. I've been watching a bunch of these lately, and most of them are just like, honestly, just it seems to me like they're people, they probably spend most of their life in the city. They're probably city people, and they see a bunch of success on YouTube with these camping channels, so they go out, they buy a bunch of gear, and then they don't know really where to camp. A lot of them are in the UK, and so they end up camping like where there's all kinds of people, like high populations of people. I've lived in the mountains for a lot of years. I've heard all the stuff there is to hear, all the different animals there is to hear. I've personally heard stuff that's not animals and was definitely not human. So I've experienced weird stuff in the woods before.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
This don't feel like the path, does it? It is, but man. Oh, what's that? That's where we heard the okay.
Yeah, that was
their exploration. When they spot the light,
that was a bird or something.
They are confused and think it might be someone out there in the dark. However, moments later, things take a more disturbing turn when they hear a scream they had not heard before.
So
Alright, let's hear this scream.
I swear I seen like the shadow, like this something moving. Like there was a shift in the light. Like something moved. That was a scream in the woods.
Jerry.
Yeah, she looks real scared.
That was a scream. Come on.
Scary scream.
Coyotes?
I thought I seen something moving by our fire. That confirms somebody's out here. That was screaming.
That confirms it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from Sherlock himself. He thought he saw somebody moving by the fire. That confirms it. Someone's definitely out here. And that was definitely a human scream. Couldn't have possibly been any other animal. She was actually pretty close. It might have been coyotes. Coyotes from a long distance can sound kind of strange. A lot of them, especially if you're staying in the desert. It didn't sound exactly like coyotes, but yeah, I've heard. Depending on where they're at, I know that sometimes cougars can actually impersonate birds or do strange sounds like that. Foxes will sound like a blood-curdling, murderous female getting screaming whatever. Foxes are creepy.
Person.
If you listen closely to the voice they hear again and again, it might be some sort of animal, but according...
Man, she looks so scared. Let's take a look at that one more time.
If you listen close...
Oh man, she is freaked out. You see that? She's looking at him like, Jim, do we really have to do this again? It's like take number 5.
The voice they hear again and again. It might be some...
Yeah. Can I just go to sleep now? I'm tired of making this video, Jim.
Animal. But according to Jer, it was not coyotes, and it was clearly a human. Despite that, he has a gut feeling that someone is nearby, close to their campfire area.
Well, he already confirmed he thought he saw someone by the fire, therefore, there's definitely someone out in the woods with them.
Comes even more disturbing is that when they start planning the rest of the night after the exploration, things take a terrifying turn as they begin hearing footsteps.
Oh, I guess nothing's gonna happen.
She's sound asleep. I initially watched this already, and I'll be honest, when I first watched, I thought that noise, her snoring, was coming from outside the tent, and I thought, oh, all right, that might be a bear, but it's a little creepy. That's just her snoring.
I thought I just heard footsteps.
Ladies and gentlemen, there should never be footsteps in the woods. She's so tired of making his videos. She's just knocked out. He finally just had to do it himself.
Despite hearing the footsteps, Jer continues and tells his wife that he heard them. In a situation like this, he says you should take it seriously because something unusual is happening around them.
Oh, yeah.
This later turns into a real threat when someone appears to approach their camp from outside and attacks it.
Listen. There's footsteps out there. Do you hear them moving? Wake up. Are you awake? Listen.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, it's been a while since we've heard anything. Are you sleeping again?
Jim, I'm tired of making this video for you.
Listen. Hey, do you hear that?
No, she's sleeping, Jim.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
The flashlight, where's the gun?
I got the gun. Hey, we're armed. Find the way. Listen, it's gotta be.
Pretty good. Could have been his buddy out there.
Freaking lazy.
She don't seem all that concerned. But then again, everybody's different.
Let's go.
That's
now.
dragon.
Okay, let's go. Come on. No, come on.
Let me go out first.
Oh my gosh.
Just give me a second. I gotta get this
Don't leave
tied.
me.
No, I'm not gonna leave you, babe, but I gotta see. We do have to go, though.
After this mysterious incident, they look outside their camp and go to their truck for safety. However, they do not find anyone nearby. It is possible that a person approached and attacked their camp, then left the area afterward. Still, it is quite creepy that someone could appear out of nowhere in the woods and then disappear again.
Okay. Again, it's not that creepy for someone to appear in the woods when you, A, live in a very populated area. For instance, the East Coast. Pretty much anywhere on the East Coast, it seems like. I spent the last 20 years on the West Coast. I've been to places that are so incredibly remote. Then it would be weird. It would be weird if somebody was in some of these areas that we were at. And even still, there are places that you have to hike into the wilderness where you're bound to possibly see somebody, even out there. So, depending on where they're camping, it looked like there was a sort of a picnic table most of the time. I would say all of the time. If there's a picnic table at your campsite and you're that close to the truck, you're probably in some sort of a designated campground run by the Forest Service or the BLM or whoever it might be. Depending on where they're at, they might be on a WMA, a wildlife management area, where actually you're specifically supposed to only camp at designated camp areas. So it's not that strange. There's people all over the place. There's barely any room on the East Coast. There's not a lot of land, and there's not a lot of choices to camp away from people. So just putting that out there.
Franco TV is a YouTube channel that mainly uploads creepy, horror-style adventure and exploration videos.
Okay, first off, if that's all you're doing is you're uploading creepy horror style videos, then they're probably fake. Just saying. Think about it. You got to keep that shtick up for every single video.
Shot at night.
It's the videos where there was one video of a guy and all he did was review flashlights. Like his entire channel was just him reviewing flashlight. That's all he did. And he was reviewing a flashlight in a cave and some super weird stuff happened. He already had quite the following. He didn't really need the views. He didn't really need the subscribers. Maybe he did it. But the thing is none of his other videos ever had anything creepy in it again. So I don't know. But it's channels like this where you got to be careful of, because they got to keep this shtick up for every single video. So they're more than likely faking it.
Focusing on allegedly haunted or abandoned locations. In one particular video, he goes camping in a place known as Skinwalker Forest.
There you go.
The footage starts off pretty normal, but around the 13-minute mark, it takes a very creepy turn.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, that's an animal. Yeah, that's like a little cat or something.
For a moment, it looks like an animal or some creepy figure.
Might have been like a civet cat, or it could have just been like a feral cat. It kind of sounded like a meow.
Passes nearby, but that does not scare him.
That right there and that right there, that's a deer stand. So some feller's hunting in that woods all the time. Probably him. He probably knows the area like back of his hand.
Eventually, he begins to notice something far more disturbing.
I just heard a man. Listen.
He sees a man, someone watching him in the woods, but he is not quite sure what to make of it.
I gotta admit, that was pretty good. The only thing I can think of is that he's got his buddy out there with him, and his buddy's out there going, "Oh." I mean, I could go out and make this video right now. My pop and we could go out in the woods at night and go make this video right now.
Experiences like this can happen when you are out in the woods camping or walking. But what he sees next is something he will not forget. His footage. Nothing unusual happens until this moment.
I 100% just saw a pair of eyes again. Right over there in front of me. I did see... Alright, I'm gonna go for a break.
Yeah.
So I'm even paranoid to turn my back towards the forest because I heard what sounded like heavy footsteps. I did see what...
A break? Alright, you know what? I need a break from this creepy stuff. I'm gonna walk this way into the woods real quick.
Eyes staring at me from further deep inside coming towards the house, and then they were just gone. See, I'm literally just hearing what sounds like movement. What was that?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, lights in the distance. Lights. He's on farmland. Could be his buddy's land. We don't know. You know, could be like his buddy's grandpa's farm, and they're like, dude, I got this channel. I'm trying to. I mean, come on, man. Like, he's not in the middle of nowhere anywheres.
I'm gonna switch to my other camera, my Psionics. Listen. I don't know what that is. Listen.
It's a cow.
Although the man or figure making the noise does not appear, even after exploring for a few more minutes, he eventually realizes...
He literally said it was a cow. It was a cow.
Making the sound. So far, the journey seems fine for him, until he is about to encounter a truly creepy moment.
See it? On the psionics, you could see it. That's the rooftop, but it's highly vegetated.
Ooh.
I have to get into from the forest somehow.
Yeah, that's literally a cow.
Oh, shit.
For the rest of the footage,
He's legitimate. I think he's legitimately scared, but he's scared of a cow.
continues exploring the woods, trying to find out who or what is out there scaring him. And during his exploration, he comes across something else.
Hold on, I want to check my sex. Right here. I can hear it.
Are we gonna get the black robe? Ooh, some deer eyes maybe? Alright.
If you look closely at the footage, you can see someone walking in the woods, which explains the scraping sound of footsteps he was hearing. After a while, he decides to leave and spend the rest of the night in his car to get some sleep. However, at around 2:35 a.m., he hears two people talking to each other in the woods, which is pretty creepy to think about.
The time is now around 2 something. And I just heard something right over here. I could still hear what sounds like talking.
So he's all freaked out. He's hearing footsteps. He's seeing eyes. But he has the wherewithal, after he gets back in his car, to set the camera up in the perfect position.
In the forest.
I mean, I suppose an argument could be made. This is what he does for a living.
It sounds like there was people on the inside. It literally sounds like I'm hearing people talking coming from the forest. What the is that?
For the moment, all he can
That's
hear
kind
is
of
two
weird.
people
That was
talking,
actually kind of weird.
although he tries to see them, even after zooming the camera into the dark.
But for all we know, we don't know. Obviously, he's on a farm. Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning. At least that's what he says it is. I don't see a clock here anywhere that can prove otherwise. But maybe it's 10 o'clock at night. He could just be telling us it's 2:30 in the morning, and there's a couple people. There's a house right over here, and there's a couple people just hanging out on the front porch talking.
Is clearly visible. After a couple of hours, he falls asleep, but then wakes up again at 4 a.m. after hearing the footsteps of these unknown people.
I don't hear anything.
It is very likely to come across other people in the woods, and if that happens, they might eventually meet or make their presence known. However, in this case, it is unclear who these two people are or what they are doing out there in the dark, especially while he is camping alone. It is possible that someone is trying to play a prank on him or just having fun, but we can never be sure.
We'll never be sure on that one.
This finding was
I think it was
made by Hype
Bigfoot.
Mike, a channel that usually posts 3 a.m. style paranormal challenges, often filmed at night in creepy locations.
Of course.
However, in September 2026, something disturbing happens when the couple goes out somewhere in the woods to spend time camping. Everything seems calm at first, but then they start hearing unusual and creepy sounds.
As well as
Turn off the light, turn off the light, turn off the light.
okay. That was weird. What are the odds something just walks next to us?
Well, thank God it.
Although it seems very likely to be a person outside the camp, or a group of people trying to scare them or make them scream, it could also be an animal if we analyze the voices they heard at first. At some points, it may have been an animal, but we cannot say for sure.
I mean, at first it sounded pretty weird. I'm not too familiar with like feral pigs, what they sound like, or I wonder if we can look that up real quick, or like hogs. I mean, that's pretty close. Like, that's me after too much pizza. That's pretty close. I mean, if you listen again, it's not exactly the same.
Turn off the light, turn off the light, turn off the light.
I mean, it's pretty close. And if you listen to the running, it sounds like four legs. Listen how quick it is.
6. Everything seems calm at first, but then they start hearing unusual and creepy sounds.
All right, listen.
As well as
Yeah.
Turn off the light, turn off the light, turn off the light.
Yeah, that's a wild boar. Yep. That's what that is. That sound is probably him doing this with his snout, because he'll root. It sounds creepy. That'd be creepy at night, I have to admit.
that was weird. What are the odds something just walks next to us?
Yeah, what are the odds that there's an animal in the woods? You hear it sniffing?
Although it seems very likely.
Yeah. Look at that. I paused right in the right moment. That looks creepy right there. A branch just snapped. Bigfoot.
He hears the snapping of branches, as if someone is deliberately making noise to lead him out of the woods. At first, he thinks it is random, but he has several more unsettling experiences while exploring alone. According to him, he also sees a mysterious person watching him, which is very creepy.
I don't know if that.
Yeah, they all see a mysterious person watching them, and yet somehow we never get it on camera.
Here's something over there.
loud. He must be by a river or a creek. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I said it was.
However, after this incident, we still do not know who the person actually was, which makes it even more unsettling. He mentions that he was about to record the moment when he saw the well-dressed man standing like a statue, and although he had pressed record, the camera was not actually recording.
Guys, I think I just saw something behind me. I don't think I got it on tape because I hit record, but the record I hit record. I know I did. I just saw a guy, a well-dressed man. He was right behind me. Yeah. Whew.
He eventually drove away, occasionally checking his mirrors, but the man had already vanished back into the woods. Outdoor Boys is a YouTube channel run by a guy named Luke Nichols, whose content...
That's it? He heard twig snap, and then he said he saw a well-dressed man? So, there you have it. That's my take on all of these YouTubes with the campers and the scary experiences. 95% of them are just people who don't spend a lot of time outdoors, and they get really scared. They think that a squirrel scampering around their tent is, the scariest thing they've ever heard. Which, I get it. You're not used to it. But you're also kind of just uploading them for clout and views. So there you go. And then the last one, obviously, couldn't say anything about it because it was an experienced outdoorsman. He knows what he's doing, and he knew exactly what it was. So, and just to be clear, like, coyotes, I've camped in Eastern Oregon, and when you hear coyotes, it's actually really cool. It's a really cool sound. So, all right. So I'm signing off. I'm gonna sign off now.